picking up where we left off, we're going into turn 6 just after Justin has the potential to be just one tile away from Blood's capital in turn 6. Will we see a Blood demise here? Let's find out. Global cooling still stays in effect because it is a 2-turn weather event, so Ice gets supercharged for another turn. Glacier draws the Spy advantage card, which allows him to take a random advantage card from another player's hand. I love the mechanic of this in the tabletop simulator, because you literally just put your hand into, you know, the open space that is their hand, so you just see a bunch of black face cards, and you just pull it out. You just yank it out. So it is truly random. It's not like it is in person where you just, you know, put a stack, shuffle it up in front of you. You straight up yank it out of their hand. Really fun. So let's see what Glacier does here. Will they attack the altar? I think there's definitely a lot of merits to not even worrying about the altar and going for that star tile. The only downside to this is he's not tier 2 yet, but he could go tier 2. He's sitting at 17, or sorry, he's sitting at 19 and 12. He could go tier 2. Yeah, he's got enough. He can buy this lake, go tier 2, and still cast his blizzards on, you know, 2 own tiles. What he probably wants to do is hold off on that until he can purchase that desert, so he can make both of the star tiles into blizzards. But let's see what he does here. Does he go for the killing blow opportunity? Goes ahead and activates Spy. What card is he going to get? He yanks out the 110% advantage card from Blood, taking it from his hand. So, you know, utilizing this advantage card, it doesn't mean that he's attacking him just yet. It simply means that he doesn't want Blood to have any advantage cards that could impact his position here in any way, whether he goes to the altar or he goes to the lake. How does Glacier respond here? Builds a barracks on the swamp. That does not bode well for Blood here. Constructs 3 soldiers. That's all he can construct in tier 1, so he doesn't appear to be going tier 2 here. Purchases the rainforest as well on that west coast. Never mind, holds off on buying that rainforest and purchases a resource building on that eastern coast lake tile and does attack the altar. So he's sending everyone to that altar, and I think it's a naked altar tile, and he's sending all his soldiers there because he wants to make sure he can defend it. Because if he can defend Blood from taking it, then obviously Blood can't do their main strategy, which is sacrifice their soldiers. So I get that. He's got enough building materials to put defensive fortifications on that as well. But he barely won that last battle with Blood, with Blood only having its general. Now, it doesn't look like he has the opportunity to sacrifice any soldiers, though. But I think just sending one soldier to that lake so that you can buy it next turn, it might be the move. But I guess if he holds this tile as defense, then he can still send a soldier there next turn. There's merits to both. Constructs 2 defensive fortifications on that altar, so he is 1 tile away from putting the stake through Blood's heart. Very poetic. All right, it goes to David, the biggest yeet, 39 and 14. Good Lord! Massive economy, potential to go to tier 2 in the next couple turns. Gets the catapult advantage card, which, funny enough, he was actually mentioning that card just prior to drawing it. So it's an advantage card that allows you to destroy a defensive fortification on a tile adjacent to you, which that's incredibly powerful for water, specifically against Blood. Ice largely irrelevant because the blizzards are what are stopping us. It's not defensive fortifications, but Blood's defense fortifications are stronger. Now, water is not in any position to attack Blood in any way here, so it's not the best card here. He also discards Draft to War because water's already tier 2, so that Draft to War card is irrelevant for him. Constructs a barracks on his capital. Trains 5 soldiers for 15 food. He's got nearly 40 food, so he's got food in bunches. 3 armies and 3 soldiers. Nope. Total of 20 soldiers currently on the board. Big force. Look at water positioning. Could actually go for the star tile next turn. Purchase that force. It looks like he is moving for that desert star tile. In which case, he'd be a big threat to ice. He'd only be 2 tiles away from ice. I like what he's doing. He's really spreading out his armies. And I do think this is a bit of... like, he's really brand new to this iteration of the game. If he keeps his armies together, he poses a really, really big threat to these boss tiles. And I think he should probably consider that. Either way, he puts resource building on the forest and on a mountain to end his turn. Let's see what Blood does. Can Blood do anything to stifle the advances of Ice? Draws quite a good advantage card for his defense here. And by defense, I mean in his attack. He can't sit idle here, right? Ice might have some kind of advantage card that will make his defense here impossible. Blood gets your units add +2 to the dice roll when attacking. If he can get some soldiers out here, that is a big buff. He does have the Blood Rush passive enacted because he has sacrificed 10 or more soldiers. So he can train 3 soldiers at a discounted rate, which means he can buy 3 for the full price at home. So he's purchasing a total of 6 soldiers. That combat card is absolutely insane for his survival here. An army and a soldier, all with +2 added to their dice roll. So that army has essentially +4 added to its dice roll in this next battle. Massive! He does attack. Escalated aggression comes out. Let's see if Justin answers with any combat cards. Goes ahead and activates 110%. I think if he just considered the odds here, like, don't even throw any cards in here. It's not going to save you. Even with your ice buff, he's swinging at you with a whole lot. The other thing is he only has the 1 Blizzard out right now, which does add 1 to his dice roll. So with weather and everything, he's adding +4, but he's attacking with so much more. That general is just massive. The general is basically 40 attack himself. Ice does roll a 5 there for his general. Rolls a dice for his soldiers. Rolls a 6 for his soldiers, the more important roll. So they do have a 10 on their roll. But really, he's only sitting at a defense of like 60. And Blood is attacking with significantly more than that. Blood attacks with a 95. Just heard me call out that. Wow. What a big turn 6. We thought Blood was on the edge of their life. But Blood does push back the aggressing Glacier Nation. Reclaims that altar. That's where I really think... Now, Ice still has this barracks here. He can easily construct a soldier and put it on that star tile lake. And I do hope he does that. Get those blizzard tiles out there. And next turn, I think he'll make enough food. Yeah, he had 10 leftover food at the end of his turn. That's what he was doing. He was saving food. He's making plenty of building materials. He can purchase that lake and that desert and probably convert them both to blizzards with that. Justin, before we get our resources updated, gets the Amazonian tribes. We can see Blood's resource totals at 17 and 27. Water is at 50 and 17. Food is just off the charts. If he gets someone to the market, he can start trading in for building materials to progress towards that 50 and 50 win condition. I think he should probably consider doing that. Let's see where Ice is sitting. 27 food, 16 building materials. Plenty to work with here. And let's do the numbers right now. Right, if we train a soldier, food is not an issue here. We can go to tier 2 right away. Soldiers only cost 2 food once we do that. We can purchase the lake, right, which would put us down to 4 building materials, and then we can move this soldier from the rainforest into the desert. This would put us at 1 building material left over, and then we can activate our tier 2 ability, which can convert both of these star tiles to blizzards. That is what he should do. Let's see what he does instead. Glacier's the only one not in. Oh, wow! Raised Dead is the weather event. Glacier just lost some soldiers, and they are all resurrected at his capital. Wow! If only it were more. He trades in 6 food for 3 building material to buy that rainforest and that desert. He converts 2 to blizzards, but he opts to not go for that lake. He converts that swamp that he just fought over to a blizzard. I like it. It is boxing Blood in. And he converts the other star tile to blizzard. So it's almost optimal, I think. But what is the point of converting this swamp? You still form almost as strong of a choke on Blood by converting this star. In fact, I think it's more of a choke. So I think a small mistake there. He bought that rainforest. It wasn't necessary. Goes ahead and trains soldiers. Trains just a couple to finish off those resources. Glacier soldiers only cost 2 food apiece now that he's tier 2. So all 3 of our players are tier 2 at this point. We're in turn 7. Let's see what Water does. Water with just a massive amount of food. How is he going to take advantage of this? Just continue to train soldiers. Gets the one-way portal advantage card. They can travel to the Elemental Temple or the Market. All the units on that tile. He doesn't currently have a unit on either of them. I really, really like that. It also doesn't count as their movement. We could do a cheeky teleport to the Market or the Temple and attack Glacier's Mountain here. Huh. Lots of options. Does Water even feel the need to be aggressive, though, is the question. If I'm looking over here, Blood has effectively pushed Ice back. And they're going to struggle to push through that. That general is massive. So why don't I just sit back, farm up those resources, and get those soldiers out there? Uses the portal card, goes to the Market with just one soldier. Trades in the maximum amount of food for building materials. So he trades in 10 food for 5 building materials. Definitely the correct move. Water's got enough resources after that trade to go to Tier 3. Wow. He goes Tier 3, putting him to 20 and 2. And he activates, where did the Water go? Where he can temporarily change his tiles to weaker tiles, to permanently change his opponents to weaker tiles. Wow. He can convert 2 rivers, and he owns 2 lakes right now. So that's a total of 4 tile sabotage. And this only works on lakes and fields. And if we take a look, Blood is, they have almost no tiles. These 2 fields are going to get converted. And then I would imagine these Glacier tiles are going to get converted. That lake and that field, which are their main food contributors. Can't change the blizzards to anything else. The blizzards are contributing a good amount of food to Glacier as well. He's trading all 4. He is doing it. The cool thing about this card as well is that swamps contribute to Water's defense. So even though he's weakening his economy for a couple of turns, his defenses are even stronger because of this. Because those rivers don't contribute to his defenses, but swamps do. I really like it as a card. I think it's one of the cooler cards in the game right now. Get all those swamps out there. It's a poison haven. God, poison would kill to be in that corner right now. Just moving his soldiers around, getting that general on a tile that's going to benefit him more so. He knows food is coming, right? He's going to get that general to a fertile footing building material tile. So that mountain is a good choice for him there. And he's just going to continue to train soldiers. Trains another army for 5 food. Or sorry, for 15 food. And look at all these tiles changed. I think this is some of the most board manipulation we've seen in the virtual version of this game. We've seen blizzards, and now we've seen the water getting drained out, and we're seeing swamps come onto the board. But Glacier is just really nice and cozy in their side of the board. Really strong position. Just moving some soldiers around here. I think that's all Water can really do. Shooting at 5 and 2, he does have exactly enough to purchase that lake. Really powerful turn 7 for Water. So these tiles will be weaker economically for this turn and the next is what he's sitting at. Then at the beginning of turn 9, they will be returned to lakes and rivers for him. Let's see what Blood draws here. Forced Hospitality, a meme advantage card. Let's see if Michael can find a good use for it. Okay. Blood should definitely feel the pressure coming off him. Glacier not really in a position to attack him or even his Ultra in the next turn. You got to expand and take land. You got to take that star tile, right? Blood's sitting at 17 and 27. Just look at his position on the board. He owns 4 tiles before purchasing this rainforest this turn. And he still just makes so much resources. Blood is broken! They don't have a win yet. Let's see if he can pull it out in this game. Because, I mean, we're just seeing the numbers climb up despite the fact that he was beaten down into a corner. But the numbers keep climbing. So he's shifting all of his units away from the altar. This is weird looking right now. Obviously positioning for Lorgaroth there. Is he just giving up his altar? Not worried about it? He's got 5 food left. He's trading more soldiers on his general, utilizing that Blood Rush passive. He appears to just be abandoning his altar. Okay, he built a castle on it, which, that's pretty decent, right? Glacier doesn't have any offensive bonuses now that a weather event is gone. So he builds 3 castles. He constructs 3 castles. So he spends all 18 of his building materials on castles. When, if he was expanding, he would get free ones. Blood has only managed to get 1 free castle this game. Currently sitting at 18 soldiers sacrificed, so he's 2 away from that channeling Dracula ability. If he gets to tier 3. And look at the resources. Good gracious! Blood sitting at 19 and 20, despite being pushed into the corner. Water getting next to no food that turn. He's at 8 and 26. Stanny is at 14 and 20, a good healthy amount, not quite in that tier 3 range. We got Glacier drawing the Desperate Teleportation for 1, so they get to move to the Temple or the Market. A very similar card to what Water just had. Oh my gosh! This weather event! Back it up, folks! I wish we zoomed in on this card. Back it up! Back it up! Is this not a movie plot? The new weather event! Spring has sprung! For just a split second we zoom on it. The Glacier player must remove one of their Blizzard tiles. Yikes! The strongest feature of their game, what has given him a really, really strong chokehold on Blood and keeping Water out, he has to remove the Blizzard on one of those star tiles. Which really, I only see that as, I see that as his only attainable win condition at this point in the game, is getting that 3rd star tile. And one of them is now vulnerable. Imagine if Blood gets through this boss, and there's no way this general is getting stopped by Glacier if he gets around to this field. And then once Blood sticks his fangs into this field, it's 2 turns away from Glacier's death. This is crazy! The weather event that turned the tides. Glacier activates Reset, doesn't like his advantage cards, gets a couple of really, really good ones. I can see them in his hand. He's got Rig to Blow, which is great. Can kill an army after a tile is taken. Really, really good. So gets Rig to Blow, gets Rain Dance. He can remove a weather event that he doesn't like. And he can interfere with an opponent's hand of advantage cards with that 3rd advantage card that he has in his hand. Decent ones pulled, but nothing that just drastically improves his position now. He does move to the Temple, which I think that's a little bit overdue. He's purchasing a bunch of resource buildings here. Got a stockpile to get to tier 3. That's the right move. It's a smart move. Sitting at 9 and 9 after those purchases. So long as he gets to 2020 next turn, he can make some magic happen here. But I don't think he's stopping Blood from taking this boss. He's at 7 and 9 after purchasing 1 soldier. Kind of curious as to why he just purchased the 1 soldier. Wondering what numbers he's running in his head. Moves those forces that will return to his capital north just 1 tile. And he's going to go ahead and start constructing some defensive fortifications, it appears. I think he got that one for free. That's a big, beefy Blood general. It's getting stronger. He changes his size a little bit for every soldier that's getting sacrificed. I like that. Water draws the Interstellar Advantage card. The first time we've seen this card utilized, where he can teleport from his own star tile to any other enemy-owned star tile and immediately attack it. You obviously can't go for the Blizzard. Can't go for this lake. It's not even owned yet. This field tile was a Blizzard at the beginning of this turn. Not anymore. It is now open and defenseless. What a ridiculous combination of events that we've seen. Water can now all of a sudden teleport across the map and start going at Glacier. This is crazy. I've never seen this advantage card played. Just created it just a few days ago. Really excited to see it played. Let's see what David does with it if he sees this opening. You can't write a script any better for this game. This should be a snowy, wintry wonderland right now. But it's not. It's green pastures for Water to go and settle in there. Oh my gosh, and then Water can just take that lake right in front of that soldier right now. Blood has sent all of their forces to the coast. Throws away the sharpened steel. Also, I hope you appreciate the Interstellar title of that card. Hope you appreciate it. Oh my gosh, he is planning for it. He's talking about his moves. He's not filling in his opponents on everything that he's about to do, but he's given me enough words to let me know that that is what he's going to do. Activates Interstellar. He knows that attacking is going to take place once he does that. Going to make a couple more moves before he officially attacks. Right? Let's get that right there. Teleport the units on one of your own star tiles to an enemy-owned star tile. Combat immediately commences. This will start the battle phase of your turn. He needs to get everything else taken care of. Any resource buildings. He needs to purchase this lake. He's sitting at 8 and 26. Buy the lake. Put defensive fortifications on it, you dummy. Moves to the desert. Moves to the desert. Wow, he's seeing the potential here. He's already in turn 3. Purchases the desert and uses his tier 3 ability to convert that to an oasis. Now, imagine if he just gets his general to that oasis with fertile footing, he is netting a grand total of... He can get 30 resources from that a turn total. 20 of one and 10 of the other. He is capitalizing on the food, taking advantage of the fact that his swamps are not netting him any food for this turn. So he wants to make sure he has enough food to continue this offense. If this event works out for him. Buys that star tile lake. Wow. So he traded a bunch of food in the market for building materials so that he could do this. So that he could purchase that lake and that desert. Fortifies them all. So as of right now, Water does own 2 star tiles. If this interstellar attack works, he will have 3. The Oasis can naturally have 3 defensive fortifications on it. That is a fortified tile. Just hope a Blood General doesn't go there. Sends 2 armies via Interstellar. Glacier activates Rig to Blow, which is going to kill one of those attacking armies. That does give Glacier the opportunity for him to have a slightly weaker defense here. Water did not save enough building materials to fortify this tile as well. That gives Justin a little bit of opportunity to take this tile back. But he doesn't know what Water's advantage cards are. So he only sits here with 1 army, but he does own 3 star tiles now. Wow. So he go ahead, and he realizes his small mistake. I wouldn't let this happen for someone who's been playing, regularly. He does shift one of those defense fortifications from that lake over to the field. I'll allow that to happen. So let's see if Justin can... break free of... Now it looks like Justin's about to die. In just 1 turn! Water left to his own devices owns the most land on the board by a large margin. Water's got a lot of options here. 10 armies is a win condition. 50 and 50 is a win condition. He can also own 14 tiles on the 3-player map, and that's a win condition. So he's got options. It depends on how his opponents will interfere with them. Blood gets an announce card, rolling 2 dice, receive that much BM. Everyone else gets a roll 1 and receive that much BM as well. Blood's not really worried about resource, so this is a bad card for him because he's giving resource to other people. Water rolls a 4. Never mind, he re-rolls. He thinks that was kind of a cheap roll, so he gets a 2 on that. Got a 2 on his roll. Didn't see Glacier's roll. I believe he got 4, I believe. I don't see where his other dice went. Rolled it across the board. Sitting at 19 and 24. If he somehow gets a soldier to that market, he could go tier 3, but I don't think that's the right play. I think he has to go for Lorgaroth here. Blood's not really in a position to interfere with Water right now. So it really is going to be up to Justin to stop David from putting himself in a position where he absolutely... at this point right now, it looks like he's going to win in the next turn. But Ice can take away that star tile, and then he won't be able to achieve 2 win conditions in the same turn. Oh, wow. Look at what Blood's doing. He's moving every soldier to that altar. That's 9 more soldiers. 10 soldiers, actually. Sorry. He's sacrificing 10 soldiers, adding a permanent plus 20 to his general's attack. His general alone can kill Lorgaroth. I've never seen a general get this big. He's at over 30 soldiers sacrificed now. That general is a beefy lad. Constructs a castle on his capital. So even though he has a rainforest for food, he's got these castles, which are each generating him 2 food apiece. He's going to be fine on food. Blood broken. Absolutely broken. just think if Michael takes his like turn 2 slightly differently, I think this game is just already over, and I think Blood is the one that is holding the knife to the throat of his opponents. But as of right now, I don't see how Blood breaks out of this side of the board to interfere. So he does kill Lorgoroth. He acquires the Soulwell card. Water's got massive military forces. If he ever squares off in a battle, Blood will kill all of those soldiers, sucking them up, enhancing his strength, and then he can activate Soulwell to resurrect those soldiers to fight for him. What a cool combo that could be. Let's see if we can live to see it. All right, we're ending our turns here. Going into turn 9, we are 1 turn away from Aether. Blood going to 22 and 12. Let's see what Water's at. Water, that's the one we want to see. We'll see when they take their turn. Wow, Celestial alignment. The planets have aligned, preventing the activation of elemental abilities this turn. Water wants to activate that Flood card to potentially, stifle one of the advances onto his star tile. But now he can't do that right now. Glacier immediately activates Rain Dance. He doesn't like that. He needs his abilities. He needs to be able to go to tier 3, he says. He needs to be able to use that tier 3 ability. Removes it. Big bosses! All bosses' health is now doubled. The Hydra now sitting at 100 health. The Cerberus now sitting at 120 health. Wow. That had to have felt bittersweet for Ice. Now we've got our resource totals. Biggest Yeet at 31 and 31. Holds off one more turn. He has 3 star tiles. He's got 50 and 50 of each resource. There's no way Blue Shadow's resources are updated. There it is. 20 and 27. Got enough for that pivotal tier 3. That's what he wants. Reactivates that tier 1 Blizzard card that he bought back a couple turns ago. Goes tier 3. Activates his Blizzards on the move. He has 3 Blizzards on the board. He goes to tier 3. The Winter Storm on the move, tier 3 card. You can see it at the bottom of your screen right there. It allows him to throw Blizzards at the enemy, crushing all of the opponents on them currently. It doesn't remove the ownership of that tile, but of course, Glacier, just a quick attack away from claiming it for himself. So he stops the Blood Generals in his track, sends him back home, buries him in snow. And he sent the other one back to that field tile, reclaiming it as a Blizzard tile. So Water lost his star tile win condition. Holy cow! Is this not the coolest sequence of events that we've seen in a stretch of 2 turns? Wow! So now Justin is absolutely going to fight to, attack this lake here, get that star tile, but he has to pose a threat onto Water. We can't let Water just continue to build. Glacier sitting at 0 and 7 after that turn. Water. Glacier also drew the announce card Spontaneous Construction. He literally doesn't have tiles to put resource buildings on at this point, and he chooses Blood to be the other nation that gets the effect of that card, and Blood doesn't have any tiles to put resource buildings on. So, definitely a good choice. Heads up play by Justin. Water currently sitting at 0 win conditions, and yet absolute dominant position on the board. No one at any win conditions currently. Turn 9. What a back and forth game. But when it comes down to it, if Blood gets into the mix here, Blood is the strongest fighter. That general is ridiculous. Has 80 attack just himself. And he's making over 20 of each resources. Justin activates the advantage card that forces his opponent to throw away all of their advantage cards. But they essentially get to pick a new hand. They draw 5, and they get to keep 3 of them. Gets rid of the summon home, just use a coin, and that is a catapult. Let's see what he keeps here. He can't keep any announce cards. So the Sudden Storm announce card goes away, so the weather event stays. Not really good choices. His previous cards were definitely better. Water, let's see what he can do. Can he get to a point where he solidifies his turn? If he does next to nothing this turn, all of his tiles are getting converted back. His food production will be back to normal. He gets to move his general to that Oasis. It looks like he's going to get at least 1 turn with that Fertile Footing Oasis pop. Plays his Elven Reinforcements advantage card that he just drew courtesy of Justin's advantage card, so he can buy some additional soldiers without a barracks. It looks like he's positioning himself to go for that 10 army win condition now. I think that's really, really smart. General goes into the Oasis, the right move. Once again, he's going to be making a total of 30 resources from that Oasis tile alone. 20 food and 10 building materials, just for having his general sitting there. Wow. And think about this. We are one turn away from Aether. Currently, we just have Justin sitting at the temple to purchase it. In the current iteration of the game, only one player gets to purchase Aether. First come, first serve. So usually it is the person who takes their turn first that can do it. It's not the best move for everyone, though. It really isn't. 10 and 10 is still a big investment for a lot of nations at this stage of the game. But if Justin sees a pathway to prevent Water's win here in the next couple of turns, then it's the move. It is absolutely the move. Because Justin is very much in this game. Water does move to the temple. He repurchases Call in the Navy for 10 and 10. I like it. He's doing exactly what I was saying he should have done earlier turns, right? Go for that Call in the Navy to get that 10 army win condition. So, and he's only increased his land now, right? He's got more ocean adjacent tiles. He's got more lakes in the middle of the map. He's going to get even more soldiers from it. He's probably sitting at 3 or 4 free armies from it. And he already has 4 armies out there. Wow. It's looking like it's getting pretty tough. This game's not over. Water's still sitting at 21 and 21 after all of that. Saves a lot of resources. I believe we were updating him frequently to make sure he was going to be at that 50 and 50 range in the next turn. Not sure on that, though. Blood at 22 and 32. He goes to tier 3. So he's at 2 and 12. He sacrifices 1 soldier. His general can now move 2 tiles. Channeling Dracula is now enacted. Wow. But Water has a lot added to their defensive dice roll. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 lakes and a swamp that's adding 5 to his defensive dice roll. Is that enough to hold off the general? I think it is right now. But Blood's got a tier 2 ability that he should definitely be clicking on right now. He's got that Exsanguinate card. The Oasis can have 3 defensive fortifications. This is a big defense here. But Exsanguinate removes all of it. He doesn't see it. Blood doesn't see it. He's got the Boom Economy advantage card. Goes ahead and pops that. To get a second resource building, I think he just has his desert. He has this rainforest that he can put it on. That's what he should put it on. Blood should be hovering that Exsanguinate. I'm not hearing him talk about it, though. General is not enough to take this. Forced Hospitality goes for the meme card. Water is forced to allow Blood's units onto his Oasis tile so that next turn, Blood can attack him behind the lines here? Was that the move? That was not the move. I love the memes. He didn't. I don't think he saw the Exsanguinate. I don't think he did. He's thinking he can go past him and maybe kill Water before he wins. But yeah, Water is hovering that flood card. He can flood his own tile. He can make it to where the Blood General can't move. Wouldn't that be interesting? If somebody floods their own tile. I've never seen that before, but he's considering it. If he does it, I think there's no way for Blood to interfere with him at all. He does place that second resource building on his rainforest. That's the only thing he can do. Makes no sense to put it on the desert. Wow, Forced Hospitality. I don't see it paying dividends here, but that card is usually just useless. But he used it. Michael's that kind of player, though. He finds a way to, make those weird cards work. Let's see if it pays off. Maybe he attacks Felnir next turn after their health goes back down. Gets a second boss, so then Blood would have a win condition. If Water is going for that army win condition, Glacier has a way of getting rid of a lot of that threat. Maybe enough to buy them enough time. So the bosses still have double health this turn. Let's see these resources go up. We got to see that updated resource total. The temple is now gone. It is now Aether. Look at that updated resource total in the corner of your screen. Blood at 21 and 34. Water's at 60 and 50. They do have a win condition. They have that 50 and 50 resource total. That is something that can never be taken away from them. Justin is sitting at 15 and 27. So Water is simply looking for that second win condition in turn 10. Can Glacier put up enough interference here? Let's look at their tiles. They own their capital. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 tiles currently. He needs to purchase 2 more tiles in order to win this game outright, or currently sitting at 1, 2, 3 armies on the board. Am I missing one? Thought he had 4 armies out there. No, one of them died over here. 2 of them died over here. He needs to purchase 7 armies somehow. That's a lot. But he's got 60 food to work with. Justin purchases Aether. First time we've seen the Aether abilities access. Essentially, Aether is its main theme is it is the only way for one element to utilize the abilities from another element. This balance passive that you see at the bottom of your screen, it allows you to use any elemental ability that has been used this game. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, it doesn't matter. If the ability has been used, you can use it for this turn. And this is what I was thinking about in my head. What can he use to stifle Water's win here? He also gets to keep 1 ice ability from each tier that he hasn't used yet. So he's going to keep his Tier 3 passive. Polar Bears, which hasn't been used. I really like that. And his Seal Hunting. Obviously the Tier 1 that he hasn't used yet. He gets to essentially take an advantage card from each of his opponents. He gets to look at their entire hands as well. He's popping everything. He activates that Omniscient ability. He gets Leader Impotence. Why is he doing this? It cuts a general's attack in half. Why? Going up against Blood. More importantly, he's taking it away from Water, who is closer to the Blood General. So now Water's going to have to go up against Blood General without any bonuses. And he also takes the only advantage card from Blood, the Boss Containment Device. Gets to convert both of those deserts to rainforest, activating his One with Nature ability. So those tiles that... Look at the stack on this. This tile up here in the top of your screen has been 4 different tiles this game. That is a thick with 3C tile. Wow. So it was converted again into deserts, courtesy of Water's Tier 3 ability, and now it is rainforests. Activates his balance passive. What ability is he going for? He's looking over at his Glacier cards. The one downside to Aether in this game is that Blood doesn't really have any abilities that you want to use. The other caveat to the balance passive is that you can only reuse each ability once. We're about to see why. He brings back his Winter Storm on the move. He gets to throw his Blizzards again. Let's see where he's at. The Blizzards can move up to 3 tiles away. They will destroy any structures and units on the tile. This is exactly what I was thinking in mind. How does he get rid of the most water units possible? If he throws it at this Oasis, he's not getting resource bonuses from the Oasis, right? But I think the resource bonuses are irrelevant at this point. We just need to get rid of armies and the potential to purchase new tiles. Because if we look at Water's ability to buy land, he can attack this desert. He could move into this mountain and purchase it. That's 2 tiles right there. Or he can attack a boss. But the bosses have double health this turn. So Water's only way of getting new tiles is really over here in Blood's territory. So by throwing your Blizzard onto this Oasis, what is Water going to do? Let's see if he does. Chucks that snow right on top of him, eliminating Blood's entire military and half of Water's. The desert, which was then an Oasis, is now a Blizzard. What a freaking set of turns! Another thick tile over there. It looks like he only wants to throw 1 Blizzard, wants to maintain control of those star tiles. Can't blame him for that. Can't blame him for that. Oh, never mind. He took that Lorgoroth Blizzard and chucked it over there. I like it. I believe he only had the 3 Blizzards, though. I think what happened is we said that this... Yeah, that's what it was. We said that this is just going to... The Blizzards and fields do the same thing, right? We don't see any threat of water coming in on this field anyway. Can't train troops at the market to attack it, and Glacier's general is sitting there. So he didn't get a 4th Blizzard here. This Blizzard is the one who got thrown over at the lake. We just kind of saved time here doing this. That's what it was. Uses the market to buy some more food. Wants to get some more soldiers. Yep. Those new soldiers get moved to the Blizzard. Glacier now owns 3 star tiles. Takes that Lordaeroth tile away from Blood. Now let's look at Justin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He is also 2 tiles away from winning. He owns 3 star tiles, right? These 2 are blizzarded. This one doesn't count as a blizzard tile. Holy moly. If Water can't win this turn, I think Justin takes it. Water needs 2 tiles. Glacier needs 2 tiles. It goes to the biggest yeet. I have a degree in geography. Convert any tile you own into a non-landmark tile of your choice. This is usually utilized to convert a crappy tile into a rainforest. Usually. Can Water use it in a different way in their final turn? Something that they could do is, if there was, one more ocean-adjacent tile here, you could convert it into a lake. If anything, you can convert any of these into a lake or a river as well, and that would be extra troops for your call in the Navy. Now there's no potential for him to buy 2 new tiles this turn. It's gone. He has to win by getting 10 armies. He's currently sitting at 2. He's at 60 food. Can he get to 8 armies? Converts the swamp into a lake, which will give him 4 additional soldiers on that call in the Navy. He's doing it. Activates when did that river get longer, which causes Felnir the Cerberus to collapse into the depths of the river, drowning, purchases that river, which is an ocean-adjacent river. That's 4 more soldiers for call in the Navy. Maximizes his call in the Navy. Counting them out, how many soldiers is he getting? He got 22 soldiers out of that. That's 4 armies. He's got 6 on the board with 60 food. If each army costs 15 food, he can construct any barracks on any tiles that he owns and construct an army from each of them. David takes this game. By owning 10 armies, the first time that win condition has ever been done, and having 50 and 50 resources in the bank. So he builds barracks on any 4 tiles that doesn't currently have something. It doesn't matter where he puts it. He's got lots of options there, and he's going to train an army from each of them. What a game. Blood doesn't even get to take their final turn, but after their general just got snowed in for the 2nd time and sent back home, I don't think it would have mattered. What a game, ladies and gentlemen. Justin made Glacier look so good this game. They really did. I loved looking at it. David making Water look awesome, and Blood just showcasing, it's just sheer brokenness. Like I said, if Michael just changes his early turns just up a little bit, I think this is Blood who wins this game. But instead, we've got Glacier sitting with 1 win condition, but Water capitalizing on that 2nd win condition before Justin can actually win the game. Wow! Wow! I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're liking where this game is headed, and I hope moments like this make you want to get involved. We're accepting new players every single week, and I can't wait to show as many people as possible this great game. It's a ton of fun, people. I'm telling you. Get involved. I love you.